What is up, guys? And happy Chucky mid-season premiere day. It's Wednesday, and that is the mid-season premiere. The first time we're getting new episodes since, I think, October or November, so I'm interested in seeing where the plot goes. But as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm not its biggest fan. I should probably start off by saying that the Chucky franchise has been with me for basically the majority of my life. I watched the first 5 movies. There were only 5 out at that time when I was in kindergarten. And no, it's not because my parents were awful parents. It's because they didn't know that a franchise about a doll would be as intense as it was.
You stupid bitch! You filthy slut! Did you fuck with me?
So I've been following this franchise for the past 16 years very religiously. Every single time that they release a new movie like Curse or Cult, I saw it as soon as I possibly could. Bride has always been my favorite movie, but I really love the original 3 Child's Plays. And Seed of Chucky, while I think we can all agree it's probably the weakest of the movies, I still get some enjoyment out of it. Cult of Chucky ended on a cliffhanger, and when they announced that it was going to be followed up by a Chucky TV series, I was really interested. It was a thing that's really never been done before with a major character like that to get their own TV show, especially with the legacy characters following suit. Just like the movies, I've been following the show religiously, and I just have to say I've been disappointed by every single season of it, just creatively. I want to also go out and say that I don't want this to be a hate video towards any of the creators or the actors. I actually think the acting's been pretty good. And Don Mancini, I love his previous work. This is just not my favorite thing he's done. The thing that blows my mind is I really feel like I'm on an island with this opinion. You know, I've had my hot takes. I think the Halloween 2018 movie is better than the original. I'm not a big fan of They Live, you know, so I'm no stranger to hot takes. But I'm just so surprised that this is such a hot take because it seems like people really like this show. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I don't want to discredit anybody, but I'm going to talk about today my problems with the Chucky show as a lifelong fan. So far, the entire show, the legacy characters from the previous movies have kind of been sidelined, and it's followed 3 kids, Devin, Jake, and Lexi. Lexi, I actually think, is probably the most interesting of the 3 because she started off as a borderline secondary antagonist and now has become a main protagonist. But Devin and Jake, I just think, are really uninteresting characters because really all they are is gay. Like, what is their personality trait? They're gay. What do they like doing in their free time? Having sex with dudes. And there's just not really any depth to them so far. I think this is especially a problem because of all the characters, I think if your main ones are the least interesting, it's not going to be that engaging of a plot to follow. Speaking of characters in general, though, a lot of the legacy characters come back, which is really nice to see. Nika, Andy, Kyle, and Tiffany Valentine all make appearances and are, I would even say, regulars on the show, not main characters. And again, that's kind of a problem that I have. I think of the 4 that I mentioned, though, the one that's gotten the best treatment, surprisingly, is Kyle. She hasn't been in the franchise since the post-credit scene of Cult of Chucky, and then before that, the original Child's Play 2. And they've really given this character a lot to do, especially with the kind of Chucky bounty hunting group that they have in Season 1 with Andy. But speaking of Andy, I don't really like what they've been doing with him. He's been okay, I guess, but they have this weird subplot in Season 2 where he's been held hostage by Chucky, and it just came off really corny to me. Somehow Chucky captures him after he drives a truck off the cliff, and now he has a full-on Hagrid beard, and I don't know, I think that's really weird a direction for the character to go, especially he's been the main protagonist of the first few bunches of Chucky movies. Nika was a really strong character in Curse and Cult of Chucky. It was really badass to see someone that couldn't use their legs succeed over, well, I guess it's a doll, but still kick the ass of someone that killed her entire family. But basically what they've reduced her to in Season 1 is just occasionally going in and out of the mind of Chucky, and when it's Nika talking, it's just basically screaming and panicking, which I don't really like. However, there is a really cool scene with Tiffany and Nika where Tiffany kind of reveals like she knows that Nika's been there sometimes and likes it when that happens. But then at the end of Season 1, Tiffany cuts Nika's arms and legs off, which was a surprising moment, but I just feel like they've been struggling on how to recover from that. They gave her some robot arms or whatever, which again, it just feels really out of place. I know this is a franchise about a killer doll, but that's really been the only unrealistic part of this entire franchise. Everything else has been relatively grounded, I feel, minus Seed of Chucky, but again, that's an outlier, and at least that was supposed to be really zany. This, I don't really know what they're trying to go for here. It's kind of they're going for some action movie stuff with Chucky in the background. It also pains me to say what I'm about to say, but I think that the Chucky TV show completely ruined the character of Tiffany Valentine. I think she was arguably one of the best characters, if not the best character in the original movies. She's just real. I think she brought a lot of originality to the franchise that was kind of growing stale. And the fact that they kind of just ruined her relationship with Chucky, it used to be this toxic love-hate relationship, but there's 90% hate in the show, especially with how Cult of Chucky ended, where it was going to be like a Bonnie and Clyde situation, and now it just seems like they're at each other's throats all the time with nothing redeeming about either of them. And it also just seems like they turned her into a complete parody of herself. Like, how can you tell me that this Tiffany...
My mother always said love was supposed to set you free. That's not true, Chucky. I've been a prisoner of my love for you for a very long time.
is the same exact person as this Tiffany.
My mother always told me, never let a man cock block you from what really makes you happy. And eating makes me happy!
Building off that last clip I just showed you, I just think another problem with the show is that the dialogue is pretty abysmal. I don't really get cringed out by stuff, you know. I like a lot of things go under my radar. So if I'm picking up on it, I can only imagine that a lot of people are picking up on it. Like there's some scenes that just seem like corny, stereotypical MCU dialogue scenes.
Is that Chucky in the White House? And I'm late to the party, aren't I?
There was a character in season 2 that I think was just completely nuked in terms of likability just because of the cringy dialogue options. That character is Nadine. I don't know if she was a fan favorite or not. I think she was one of the worst characters on the entire show and in the entire franchise. So when they killed her off, it wasn't really like this impactful moment like it should be, especially with the main character. It was just like okay, at least we don't have any more cringy dialogue coming out of this person's mouth.
No need to worry about me. I took 4 years of Krav Maga. Plus, I got this bitchin' knife.
Again, like I said before, I think the actress for Nadine, there was no problem with her whatsoever. I don't think any actor, Meryl Streep or the girl who played Nadine, could pull off dialogue this rough in the gutter. I also think the plots have been really weird. Like, it's also almost as if they're doing a what if with Chucky. Like, oh, what happens if we put him in the White House? What happens if we put him in the church kid group? I don't remember. I don't know exactly what you would call the group of kids, the delinquent kids in the season 2 church group. I don't even think it's this show that is that bad. It's just the fact that it's connected to this original franchise that is so different than what comes after it. Another thing I don't like, and this is more of a slight, I guess, on Cult of Chucky, I don't like the multiple Chucky aspect of this entire show. I think it just makes the original Chucky seem less special if there's so many of them. If you can kill one, okay, there's probably another one out there, and that's what they've been doing for the past few episodes. They did this weird Gremlins 2 type aspect to Chucky where in season 2 there were different versions of him. There was a nice Chucky, believe it or not, and a buff Chucky, and then a Red Dawn Colonel type Chucky.
How did you get to be such a wuss? I found something better than killing.
This whole entire show just seems really out of pocket compared to the original franchise, like I've been saying. Because you can't tell me you can watch the original Child's Play and then watch this Chucky show and then think, oh yeah, they're definitely in the same universe. In season 1, they also give way too much away about Chucky's backstory. I think, kind of like Michael Myers, it's really cool to not really know how he ticks. And they give this weird backstory where he killed his mom, and then the serial killer that broke into his house was like, oh, good job, you killed your mom.
You got guts, kid. I'll give you that.
I know this video has been all over the place, but I have a list of stuff that I actually wanted to talk about. I was trying to make this video a lot more organized, but then I just start talking about one thing and it sparks into a thing I forgot to write down, so I wanted to get it covered. But on to the last thing that I have written down, and this is more of a nitpick. I'm saving, I guess, the weakest one for last. I don't really like the whole Devon Sawa, and it's not just Devon Sawa, so I shouldn't even be pointing at him, but the whole entire show, they've been hiring the same actor to play different characters. I think Devon Sawa is on to his 4th character plate, and the first original season he played twins, so that one I don't care. I let aside. I think that's fair. And then they have him play the lead priest in season 2, and then they have him play the president of the United States in season 3, and it's like, can we hire more actors? I love Devon Sawa. I think the dude's awesome, but you know, there are other actors out there. I know this practice started with Cult of Chucky when they hired the cop that got killed at the end of Curse to be Multiple Malcolm in Cult, but I just don't think we needed to continue that, especially as ridiculous as it's gotten. Some actors are playing now their 4th character in the show. But yeah, that's really all that I wanted to get off my chest. I don't want to sound like I'm an asshole complaining about stuff because I think there is a lot to like in this show. There's a lot of cool plots and directions that they've been going. I just overall, I haven't been a fan. I haven't been convinced that this is the next big thing with Chucky, and I really hope that they go back to their original horror roots, because this doesn't feel like a horror show. The kills are amazing, absolutely amazing, don't get me wrong, but it feels more like a comedy show than a horror show. When you're seeing your iconic childhood killer get his balls touched, I think that's in the wrong direction.
Turn your head and cough.
But please let me know what you guys think. I really hope you guys love it. I don't want to bring hatred onto this world. I'm really hoping everyone's enjoying this. But this is just my opinion and how I've been perceiving the show. So let me know what you guys think. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Am I crazy? Once again, probably yes. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in another one. And let's keep our fingers crossed that the episode tonight is going to be a good one. Bye.